What it is? Oh, what's up? What's up? What it is? Oh, what's up? You clicked on the link so I don't have to say live, laugh, love. Haven't you heard? It's vlogs with Jaybird. Ay, live, love, laugh. Haven't you heard? It's vlogs with Jaybird. Jaybird. Hey.
Live, laugh, love, haven't you heard? It's Jaybird back with another video. Hey, Jaybird is what it is. Oh, what's up? What's up? You clicked on links, so I not to say too much, or you searched for this video and you are new and I have no idea who you are. So rude of me not to introduce myself. My name is Jaybird. That's the name that I go by. Welcome to my channel. Hit the subscribe button. Give this video a huge thumbs up if you find it helpful. We're going to do two different things. One, we are going to rate my old camera, and then two, we are going to rate the new one, and we are going to do a new camera unboxing today. Both of these are Canon products, so I'm able to actually give an honest review, but let's just go ahead and jump into the video. And first, also too, before we even get into the cameras, I just want to say I have only been doing photography for a year. So if you think this is going to be an advanced video, I just want to be completely transparent with you. This is an opinion from a beginner. I have my own photography company. It's called Free as a Bird Experiences Photography. The website link to my photography business will be below. Now, with this camera, I know this camera is like freaking 10 to 15 years old. So this is the very first camera that I found in my parents' attic, and I just kind of stole it and I've been shooting with it ever since. This is a Canon Rebel XS EOS, and this is the first camera that I was shooting with, and I'm gonna give you some pros and then I'm gonna give you some cons. So that's what we're gonna do. So with this camera, the pros for me is that one, the zoom in and zoom out feature is very, very nice. It's very easy to navigate with this lens. It's very easy to take the lens on and off of all of the Canon cameras that I've came into contact with. Also too, it has a dialing diameter, so that's nice. It also has this little dial that you can choose different settings, from portrait mode to sports to TV to action, to landscape, ADAP, all that kind of good stuff. You also have a zoom in and zoom out button, so it's very easy to navigate. The grip on this camera, this camera is kind of heavy because it's older, but the grip itself is actually very decent. And then also too, it has a delete button, a play button for your media. You can easily choose like what settings you want with this little circle keypad, and then you have your menu and your display button over here. Around your neck, it fits well with the strap. The strap that comes with the camera is very nice. And this is an 18 to 55 milliliter lens that actually came with the camera. Also to the camera, which is a pro, is it has a little circle here that you can actually put this on to your tripod, or if you have like a selfie stick or a selfie tripod carrier, this is like pretty good for you too. So also too, it has batteries, and another pro about this, my parents actually lost the batteries to this camera, and I actually had to go on Amazon and buy new batteries. You can actually go on Amazon, type in the camera that you have, and do some research, go on YouTube or go onto the Canon website and see what battery fits for you. You can put an SD card on this side, which is a pro. It's very easy. The SD card is separated from the battery. I know a lot of new cameras these days, for some reason, they put the battery and the SD card in the same slot, I guess to conserve space, but to me, it's actually kind of annoying because you always have to like pop out the SD card or pop out the battery. It's just too much. Then you have this part right here, which is our flash, and it's very easy to use. So I'm actually going to turn this camera on. There's actually no card in it right now, so okay, so there we go. So here's the flash. It's actually pretty bright. Watch your eyes. Anyways, yeah, I took my SD card out. So this camera works well with a lot of SD cards. I haven't had a problem with it. I've also been able to say that this camera has a very, very long battery life, which is also a very good pro. Another pro that I want to mention that I did not find out literally until like last week or 2 weeks ago after searching for YouTube videos to freaking figure out how to use this camera. So here's the thing, this screen right here actually will show you while you're taking pictures like what the picture quality is. You could zoom out, you could change certain filters on it, and then also too you can focus the camera as you're taking a picture, and you'll be able to see if it's focusing or not on the screen. Now we're going to get into the cons of this camera. So the cons of this camera is, I don't know if it's the 18 to 55 milliliter lens, but with this camera I prefer to look through this little peephole to take pictures, because sometimes this screen would be lying to me because it would seem like it's a good photo and it's really not. It just looks like a basic photo. I think looking through here, I don't know, maybe I'm just overthinking it. But I'm one of those photographers who choose to look through this hole versus looking at the screen. Taking pictures with this camera, I don't know if it was the lens or because it's an older camera, but the picture quality is not that great. And I'm just gonna say what it is. This is a DSLR camera, I believe, but this Canon does not have a recording system. So that was one issue for me, because I would always have to take my phone and this camera to all of my photo shoots, because if I wanted to video something, I was only able to do short clips of videos on my iPhone, and then I had to take pictures with this. And sometimes taking pictures with this, if it was too much light or too much saturation, the photo would just look really blurry. It would look very outdated and it just wouldn't look the best. Maybe if I got a different lens, starting with a 55 millimeter lens and going up or something like that, and attaching it to the Canon, that's another thing. This camera is pretty good as far as changing lenses. However, you know, lenses can be very, very expensive. So that's what kind of made me want to purchase the new Canon that I'm about to introduce next. Another con to this camera is that, like I mentioned earlier, it's very, very heavy. If you're a photographer who has to travel and doesn't really have like a bag like this to put your camera into, it's just very big, it's very heavy, and it's kind of inconvenient. To me, it's very heavy to carry around and wear around your neck, and at the end of the shoot, I was just ready to throw this thing off of me. So if you were looking for a light camera, this is not the camera for you. I think now this camera is probably a lot cheaper. I don't know, maybe I could try to find something on Amazon that's similar, but I think the best upgrade from this that I heard as a DSLR that's still pretty cheap, and it's on Amazon right now, I believe, is a Canon Rebel T7i or T7, and that's literally just this model. The only difference added is that it can record. So another con of this camera is, like I mentioned earlier in the video, it is 10 to 15 years old. And the picture quality, you could tell I would spend probably hours editing, and with my prices with my photography company, I charge $75 per hour for taking the shoot, then also $75 per hour of editing services. So if I'm taking 3 or 4 hours to edit, I always took a certain percentage off, because I knew that sometimes it would take me longer to edit because of the picture quality, because of the camera, and not because of me as a photographer. Like, I would be taking dope photos, and then when I get home, I realized that the lighting and everything just sucks in the photo because it's not clear. Like the picture is just not clear, and it looks super great on here, but when you take it off the SD card and put it on your laptop to edit in Lightroom, it just looked not the same. So it took me a very long time to edit, and a lot of good photos where I had clients posing and it was a good photo, I just didn't show it to the client, because even though it had the potential to be a great photo, it wasn't good enough because of the camera. So those are the cons to this camera from a beginner's perspective. However, I will have to say, for beginners out there, I think that this is actually a really great camera, because, you know, it's still cheap, it still works, it still gets really great shots. I think if you get a better lens, you have a better outcome. What I will say to my beginners is, before you go and purchase a camera, maybe start with the older model. Also too, maybe ask your friends or family members if they have an old camera that they really don't care about anymore, because most likely automatically. You can start shooting on there, and then eventually one day when you're ready to transfer over to a newer camera and a more modern camera, and then also till you have the funds from your company or whatever you're doing to purchase a new one, then I will go ahead and do so. But this is a very great camera for a beginner. I am still a beginner and I still love the camera. I'm not going to get rid of it. I'm still going to use it even though it's a 10 to 15 year old camera. I probably will use it for certain pictures that I want, certain aesthetics and everything. So I'm still learning to use this camera as I go. And yes, those are the pros and the cons to the Canon Rebel XS. Whew, I had to get all of that out of my body. I'm running out of breath. Let me take a sip real quick. Woo. Oh, moving on to the new baby. Thank you guys so much for watching this video all the way through so far. If you want to see me unbox the M50, go check out part 2 and my recent video playlist. Comment, like, and subscribe, and I can't wait to see you soon. Thank you guys for watching. Peace out.